Hip hop in recent years has definitely been on a roller coaster, and we've seen a lot of changes over the last few years. One of the most known talking points that happened recently is the kind of growth in hip hop. This has caused talk around hip hop dying and falling off as a genre, especially with other genres rising in popularity and taking some of the market share from rap. While all the talk can make it seem like rap is dying as a genre, that just isn't the case. In fact, hip hop might be in a better spot than it's ever been in, and here's why. Before we talk about why hip hop isn't dying, we have to touch base on why people are saying it is dying. This year, rap has taken sort of a step back in terms of growth, and we still being the top music genre in America by a large margin. Rap just hasn't sold as well as this year, as only a handful of albums made it to number one in 2023. While this was happening, Latin music and country music have slowly been buzzing up in 2021 and 2022 and then exploded in 2023 and taking over the charts last year. All of this happening at the same time gives the illusion that hip hop is falling off and we're seeing other genres succeed in a time where the genre we listen to is experiencing a lack of growth compared to years prior. One of the biggest reasons hip hop seems to be dying is the lack of creativity. Since it's felt like artists are scared to take risks and stick to a formula of what's working, artists aren't taking chances and are dropping what they know works, which leads to a lot of music sounding the same in conversations like one around Lil Baby, where the masses are saying he's falling off because he sounds like the same on every song, and even new snippets he's dropping, people are saying he's made this same song for the past 3 years because he's not really taking any chances and trying to expand his growth and expand his sound as an artist. And we're seeing this a lot in hip hop. And if artists aren't doing something differently, their numbers won't reflect the projections that fans are expecting based on past performances. As the quality of your last album is going to reflect your numbers for your next album, and your last album wasn't that great, it might have sold well, but your numbers are going to drop off. So if you're not taking chances and dropping the same kind of music, it's going to make it even worse and give off the perception that you're making the same song every single time. And it's just going to deter fans and make them want to move on to other rappers and maybe even other genres and check out country or Latin music. The only way to combat this is for artists to take more risk and try to make different kinds of music in the rap genre instead of making a formulaic type sound and sticking to what'll stick on TikTok. Another reason I don't see hip hop dying is the media is really blurring the reality. The media does a great job of mixing messages to be perceived as something completely different than what is actually true. In this case, they spread the narrative that hip hop is dying because it isn't the fastest growing genre anymore, and they use the country and Latin music genres to support this. Rap is still the biggest genre in America. Country and Latin music collectively have taken about 4 to 8% market share depending on your source. Rap still accounts for a majority of what Americans consume as for the profit of the music industry, but the media is going to try to play it off as rap being taken over by country and Latin music. Don't get me wrong, at this pace in a few years, other genres could be just as big as hip hop, but as of right now, hip hop is still the biggest genre, and it doesn't look like that's going to change anytime soon. I think these factors put hip hop in a good spot because it's taking the music industry feel backed into a corner, and rappers are feeling the pressure and feeling forced to actually take risks musically. This is hopefully going to result in some great music and a couple artists taking some big risks and making some good albums to change the narrative completely. It only really takes a couple artists to pop out with a great album that sounds completely different to what they've done in the past to completely change the narrative around the whole genre as a whole. But what do you think? I'd love to read your opinion, and don't forget to subscribe.